Hi, it's Elaine Pierce from mypublishingcoach.com, where we make publishing easier. I'm here today with Sage Grayson, who is a life coach, a master motivator, and an excuse killer. Thank you, Sage, for being with me here today.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here.
I'm glad you could join me today. Now, for those of you who don't know Sage yet, you should. Sage is fabulous. Her sunny personality and her wise, sage advice that she gives on her website are fabulous tools. I use them myself. She's a life coach, and why don't you tell us a little bit more about what you do as a life coach?
Oh, sure. Well, I'm Sage, and I'm a life coach at sagegrayson.com, and I help busy women reclaim their time and energy. I do this through one-on-one coaching, ebooks, and videos, and as I like to say, it's your life. Make it sweet.
I love what you bring. I follow your blog now, and everyone needs to go to sagegrayson.com and follow your blog. So, because I am a busy woman, and you are making my life a little bit sweeter by what you bring. But you didn't always used to be a life coach. You used to be an editor, which is why you're kind of here with us today. So, as an editor, you probably know the plight of the writer and why we procrastinate. That's what I'd like to talk with you about today. Procrastination in the writer's world.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah. Why do we do it?
Well, okay, so I've spent 10 years in the publishing world as an editor, and I've worked with hundreds of writers, and we all have different reasons for procrastinating, but I keep seeing the same top 3 reasons come up over and over again.
Okay.
So these are the ones that I recognize a lot.
Okay.
So the first one is we procrastinate because we're not passionate about the work.
Oh.
If you don't want to do the work, you're going to put it off. So we might not be passionate because we're doing a freelance project and maybe we're just doing it for the money. We might actually be working on our own writing, but we're not at the exciting part that we really want to write. We're doing like some of the beginning stuff. Or maybe we're just doing the administrative marketing tasks that don't really play to our strengths, but they have to get done. Mm-hmm. So if there's no passion there, you're going to procrastinate.
Okay.
So the next one is that we procrastinate because we are waiting to feel inspired.
Oh, so true. Yes.
I mean, we're writers. We're creative people. We want these beautiful ideas to just fall into our laps and then we can write. But if you wait to feel inspired before you do your work, you're going to be waiting forever. I mean, just imagine this. If you want to get fit and healthy, but you're waiting to feel inspired to go to the gym, you're never going to get there. Ah. So you can't wait for inspiration. And then finally, we also procrastinate because we are afraid. We are feeling different kinds of fear. Now, there's 2 different kinds of fear that we are feeling. The first one is a fear of failure. I mean, obviously, this is our work. We don't want to be embarrassed or have it just end up not how we want it to. It's personal to us. We don't want to fail. Yes. And the other one is a fear of success.
Wow.
This is the fear that people don't want to talk about because we don't want to acknowledge that when we succeed, things change. Our relationships change. We have new challenges, new responsibilities, and we might not be ready for success. So we procrastinate so we don't have to deal with either one of those fears.
Those are very insightful and I think very right on for what a creative person goes through in the creative process. I find the idea of fear of success very interesting because it's something, like you said, I don't think we want to talk about it, but that could be a deep-rooted issue. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So since I know that you're a life coach, I know for sure that you're not going to identify issues for us without bringing us some solutions.
Absolutely. All right, I am going to share with you my top 5 solutions for eliminating your procrastination.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go.
All right.
The first one is to only put 3 items on your to-do list every single day.
That
this might be really hard.
Yeah.
And we write a lot, so we probably have like a really, really long to-do list.
Yeah.
But if you focus on just 3 things a day, you make it absolutely manageable. And honestly, you're going to feel that energy of completion as you finish the first one and then finish the second one, and it'll make you keep going. It's a snowball effect. But when you have like 100 things and you only get 3 or 4 done, you're going to feel defeated at the end of the day.
True.
So take a look at your to-do list and be honest with yourself and choose just the top 3 that you need to get done.
Have to be done. I love that.
Okay. So the next one, it's probably one of my favorites, is to set up a reward system.
Ooh, I love that.
So you're a writer. When do you reward yourself? When you're on Oprah? When your book is on the front table at Barnes & Noble? When? You should be rewarding yourself all the time for every little accomplishment that you have. In fact, I reward myself all day long, and here's how I do it. I work for about 20-25 minutes, and then I take a 5-minute break. And then I work for another 20 minutes, and then I take another 5-minute break. And I do this all day long. And the way that I do this is during my 5-minute break, I do something good for me, whether that's taking a walk or meditating or reading an article in a magazine or watching cat videos. Just a small reward sprinkled throughout my day keeps me going. And as writers, our work takes a long time. You can't wait until the book is in your hands. You have to be rewarding yourself all the time.
That's fabulous. I think I'm going to start doing that.
Good. So, okay, my next one is to create a sense of urgency. Now, urgency can help us stop procrastinating if we always feel like we need to keep moving, keep our motivation up. So there's a few ways to do this. Here's how I do it. Let's say it's Monday, and I've got a deadline, like I've got to finish a draft by Friday. Mm-hmm. I cut my deadlines in half. So I only give myself until Wednesday to do it. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of urgency right there if my deadlines are cut in half. So if you can do that, if you can shorten up your deadlines, you'll create that sense of urgency and you'll actually work faster and better. Another way I do this, I like to work when I'm listening to ambient noises, whether that's like white noise or classical music or just something in the background, so I have that constant hum. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're writers, and a lot of that is very solitary. We're working alone in our home offices. But if you can kind of create that there's some kind of crowd or noise or something around you, it'll create that urgency. But here's my favorite one. If you can't go to like a coffee shop or a bookstore or someplace to work, there's this great app called Coffeetivity. It's coffee and productivity, Coffeetivity, and you can find it at coffeetivity.com. Uh-huh. It's wonderful. It has sounds to make it sound like you're sitting in a coffee shop, like you're at Starbucks right there.
Oh, how cool.
So I listen to it all day long, and it just keeps me rolling. It keeps that urgency.
Right. It makes you feel less alone in what you're doing.
Absolutely. I think as writers, we can feel alone sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I love that. I'm going to have to try that. We'll put that on the screen for you all.
Great. Okay. So, number 4. Another way to get rid of your procrastination is to get an accountability buddy. Now, an accountability buddy is someone who will hold you to what you say you're going to do. And I have an accountability buddy who I call a few times a week. We check in and say what we're working on, how far we've gotten, and if we did what we said we were going to do. So here's the thing. When you're looking for an accountability buddy, you probably don't want to choose one of your friends or your family members. And here's why. Your friends and family love you, and they're going to let you get away with stuff that an outside source wouldn't. You really need an accountability buddy who's stepped back from your personal life, who can look at your work objectively, who can hold you to the word counts that you need to get every day, who can hold you to your deadlines when you have to turn something in. And honestly, I think a coach is a great way to do that.
So do I, by the way.
And finally,
Okay.
my last tip for eliminating your procrastination. Just do it. It might be a little harsh, but there comes a time when we just need to suck it up and do our work. Here's the thing. There are people out there who gave up on their dreams a long time ago, and they took just soul-crushing jobs, things that they're not passionate about, just to make money. But not you. You're a writer. You're living your dream. There are millions of people out there who dream about being a writer, and you're doing it. You need to honor that, and honor that commitment, honor that promise you made to yourself, and do your work. This is what you care about. Sometimes you just have to suck it up and do it.
I think sometimes, too, when you just start doing it and you just work on the task, even though you might not know where to start, if you just start somewhere, then you gain that momentum. You get that you get over that block, and you just can work, and you finally start getting inspired.
Absolutely. Your worst work that you actually complete is better than someone who never even tried.
I love that, Sage. Such wise advice coming from you. I really appreciate it. Now, I know if people want a little bit more from you about procrastination and starting to reach their goals and kind of get off their butt and get doing it, you have a great ebook for people. Do you want to tell us about that?
I do. I have a free ebook on my website, sagegrayson.com, and it's called From Lazy to Amazing, which I know you want to be.
Yes.
And it's all about procrastination and motivation. I've got all sorts of great exercises for you to keep up your motivation so you can keep getting your work done. And there's some great goal-setting tips and worksheets in there as well. So From Lazy to Amazing, it's completely free on sagegrayson.com.
Definitely. You need to go there. I'm reading the book now, and I'm finding some great helpful tips to get me to stop procrastinating and stop playing so long on Facebook and get my work done.
It's hard.
It is.
You can do it.
It is. So, Sage, thank you so much for sharing your tips with us. You really know what you're talking about, and you really are motivating in helping us reach our goals. So thank you so much for sharing your ideas with us today.
Oh, thank you. This was wonderful.
Great. And everybody, go to sagegrayson.com. Subscribe to her blog. You'll get great information all the time. Fun pictures of her doing funny stuff. And you'll also can sign up to get her free book, From Lazy to Amazing, and really stop procrastination and start living towards your dreams. So thank you so much, Sage.
Thank you.